Good day D-bags, Vu of Vu Films, back with another video, and today I'm going to be discussing this DJI Osmo Action 4 once again. Yes, it's an action camera, and I'm a quote-unquote filmmaker who focuses mostly on mirrorless cameras such as this Sony ZV-1, my Sony FX3, etc. But I do use action cameras to help me film content for my fishing YouTube channel. Links in the description below. It's at Snagging Dragons here on YouTube if you're interested in that kind of thing. Now, first off, I just want to make this clear that I bought the DJI Action 4 with my own money. I'm not associated with DJI. They don't send me stuff to review. They probably don't give a shit about me. I have two GoPro Hero 11s. I bought this with my own money. I own Insta360 stuff. There's no brand loyalty here. I just want the best possible action camera to use to mount on my chest for my fishing channel. My last video on the DJI Osmo Action 4 was comparing it against the GoPro Hero 3. You can see it here or in the links in the description below, and I basically just compared the image quality and reliability of the camera. I'm not going to do a full review of the DJI Osmo Action 4. I'm going to just let you take my word for it. If you're looking for the best action camera to buy today, not 360 camera, an action camera, you want to get the DJI Osmo Action 4. And two big reasons: image quality and reliability. This camera does not overheat. I tested it around the house, over an hour, no overheating. I actually took it fishing in a really hot day. I got over 110 minutes of video recording on this camera at 4K, 4:3, 10-bit, did not overheat, the battery ran out, and that was that. So this camera is super reliable. Whereas the GoPro Hero 11 is notorious for overheating. When I compared the DJI Osmo Action 4 versus the GoPro Hero 11, what I concluded was the Osmo Action 4 just had better image quality. Even though it's 4K, the overall image looked to me more detailed and it had less noise. It just looked better. Whereas the GoPro Hero 11, as good as it looks for an action camera, it is not really comparable because it has a lot of noise. There's a lot of issues with the image once you crop in and take a closer look. Also, the DJI Osmo Action 4 handles grading a lot better. Overall, it seems like it handles skin tones and just overall colors better than the GoPro Hero 11. And there's a simple reason for this. The sensor of the Osmo Action 4 is just bigger. And I know a lot of people would look at the sensor size information and they're just like, well, you know, it's all under an inch. The thing is, sensor sizes, if you just look at it, it could be very confusing, especially when you're talking about any sensors that are under 1 inch size. Because over that, you have micro four thirds, and then you have APS-C, and then you have full frame. You know easily that one is bigger than the other. When you're looking at sensor sizes under an inch, it's usually a fraction of an inch. So you see 1/2 inches. Obviously that's half of an inch. But then you have something like 1/1.31 of an inch, or in the GoPro's case, 1/1.91 of an inch. But then you don't really factor in aspect ratio, where the GoPro Hero 11's aspect ratio is actually an 8:7 versus the DJI Osmo Action 4 and every other camera out there is usually a 4:3. So what does the Action 4's 1/1.31 sensor actually looks like versus the 1/1.91 of the GoPro Hero 11? This is how roughly the sensor sizes differ. As you can see in this image, the DJI Action 4 sensor is significantly larger than the GoPro Hero 11 sensor. And you can see that the GoPro Hero 11 sensor is more square than the DJI Osmo Action 4. The reason being is GoPro wanted to make sure that you can, in landscape mode, and also be able to crop your image to still have high resolution vertical content. Not to say you can't do it with the Osmo Action 4, because you can film in quote-unquote open gate 4:3 and still get a decent amount of vertical video from your landscape or horizontal video. larger sensors equals better image quality. But if you look into this deeper, you know that the majority of D-bags are not going to be using the GoPro Hero 11 or the DJI Action 4 in 4x3 mode or 8x7 mode. They're going to just shoot standard 16:9. That means in vast majority of situations, the full sensor of these cameras aren't even being used. They're only using the 16:9 portion of the sensor, which actually makes the size even more different. It actually looks like this. So here, there's even a bigger difference between the two sensor sizes, which explains further why the DJI Osmo Action 4 just holds up a lot better in terms of color grading, detail, and of course, low light performance. We're looking at the best image quality, the best reliability. DJI Action 4 wins hands down. But of course, like I also said in the other video, the GoPro Hero 11 was last year's model, and there's rumors that the GoPro Hero 12 is going to have a 1-inch sensor. With a 1-inch sensor, there comes other problems. Namely, for a company like GoPro, which has had 11 iterations of the camera already, and even at a small sensor, like pretty much a 1/2-inch sensor that the GoPro Hero 11 has, it still has issues with overheating, and that's at 5.3K. Whether or not the new GoPro Hero 12 is a 1-inch sensor with 6K, 8K, whatever, how will it be able to manage? How will it be able to manage that overheating when it hasn't even been able to manage overheating in these smaller sensors? There's the issue of depth of field, deep depth of field, and just having things in focus. The DJI Osmo Action 4 minimum focus distance is 40 centimeters, which means you have to hold the camera about 40 centimeters away from the subject for the subject to be in focus. And it's fine, you know, for me, I have it right here on my chest. I'm going fishing. The reel, my hands on my reel is usually at least 40 centimeters away from the camera, and everything after that is in good relative focus. And that's with 3/4 of an inch sensor. Once you get to 1 inch, you know, that's even a larger sensor, and that includes more issues with focus, because the bigger the sensor, the more shallow the depth of field gets, which means GoPro is going to have some solutions. Maybe they're going to have an adjustable aperture. You know, in low light situations, you know, you could use f2.8, but then like in good light, you could probably use an f4 to make sure things are in focus in certain areas. They might need autofocus. They might need the ability to change focus areas, like something for deeper focus or something for closer focus. I don't know. All those additional features requires additional processing, which increases heat again. From what it says here, the DJI Osmo Action 4 is an f2.8, and it stays f2.8. So we know, generally speaking, f2.8 on a sensor size that is 3/4 of an inch could have reasonable focus once it's set, and everything after that is, you know, I guess it's set to infinity focus, right? But f2.8 on a 1-inch sensor, things are a lot shallower, and a lot of things are not going to look as sharp because it's just out of focus due to the larger sensor and the larger aperture. With that said, guys, if you're like on the fence between buying the DJI Action 4 or waiting for the GoPro Hero 12, I think either way is a great decision. I mean, it's, you know, if there's no rush, just wait next month to see what GoPro does with the Hero 12. But if you wanted to buy action, let's say you're going on vacation this week and you want to get the possible, let's say this weekend you're going to go somewhere and you want to make sure you have the best possible action camera to buy. If you invested money into the DJI Action 4 today, I think you're making a good decision, because if the rumors are true and the leaked photos of the GoPro Hero 12 are real, the body size is the same, there's no additional changes in terms of like textures or anything to that body. So unless they did some ridiculous stuff in the internals to keep the GoPro Hero 12 from overheating, that 1-inch sensor and all that stuff is straight moot, because there's a lot of things they're gonna have to figure out what aperture to use in terms for aperture, for focusing and low light performance, how to manage not only whatever resolution they're going to throw in there, because they already went to 5.3K, they can't go back to 4K, right? So they're only either 5.3K, 6K, 8K, whatever. And of course, just the extra processing power of a larger sensor. Either way, guys, I hope this information helped you make a purchase decision on your action camera. Maybe just educated you a bit on how sensor sizes work and what they mean and all that crap. Until next time, please subscribe to the channel and, of course, lighten up.
Hey man, you buy the new DJI Action 4 camera?
I might replace my GOPRO Hero 11.
Oh my god, that camera, it trash.
Bro, there's like 6,000 TubeDouche reviews of the DJI Action 4. The footage looks pretty dang good for an action camera and doesn't overheat.
You cannot know if you like the product before you even try it.
Are you gay?
No man.
How do you know if you never tried it?
Let me show you. When I see the guy, my lens it like that. When I see a girl, my lens it like that. Oh my god.
That's what I thought. The point is, you can know if you like something or not, even if you haven't tried it.
Buy my RGB LGBTQ LED light, only $29.99.